Hey everyone, welcome back. So it's long time I did not get the time to work on the videos, but I'm planning to consistently upload the videos going forward. So here you go. I came with one use case for n8n using VAPI as a voice assistant. So today we are going to build a AI receptionist called Eco. So basically, what is the Eco is all about? So the Eco can manage your calendar, so it can book the event, search the event, and the cancel the event. Tech stack going to be very simple. We're going to use VAPI, then we will have Google Calendar and n8n for the workflow automation, and finally we'll use 11 Labs. That is going to be for the voice. What could be the different use cases? It could be anywhere you need the receptionists, such as hospital, restaurants, etc. Right? This is something we are going to build. So I have already kind of created the structure for it, but I will explain those things as we do a deep dive into the video. Okay, let me go to the VAPI now and help you understand how this eco is structured. Okay, so this is what VAPI looks like. I'll explain you the structure of our eco as voice assistant. So basically, when you want to create all these things, what you can do is you can simply click on create assistant, then name the assistant here and blank template and create assistant. So I do have the assistant created. What you see over here is a model we are using. It's from OpenAI and it is a GPT-4o mini cluster. There are many more you can choose from here, but always remember about the latency part, because GPT-4o mini is something which is cheapest as well as the fastest one. 390 millisecond is the latency what we have. That is the reason I have selected GPT-4o mini cluster. Rest of the models, if you select 500 milliseconds, 600, 510, 770. Okay, so what we need to mimic is human like interaction, right? So latency plays a very vital role in the conversation. So always be mindful while choosing the model. Okay, anyways, you will see that latency, as you change the parameters, you'll see what is the latency you will experience while having a discussion with your voice agent. So for now it's somewhere like 990 millisecond. That is I think good. You won't be able to notice that you are talking with a voice AI. All right, so moving on here, we have first message mode. So there are three modes provided by VAPI: assistant speak first, assistant waits for user, and assistant speaks first with model generated message. So I'm going to keep assistant speak first, or you can change this to assistant waits for user. So while having this in production, I would say second option is better: assistant wait for user. That is how generally happens, right? So suppose if you call someone, you say hello, right? Then another party starts talking, right? That makes more realistic scenario. This is a field which will hold a message that would be spoken by our voice agent. So that's where I have given this hello, this is Echo, how can I help you, so and so forth. And here we have our system prompt. So I have kept system prompt very minimalistic. If you see, it says you are a helpful assistant responsible for booking, canceling, and modifying appointments. For every appointment request, always collect caller's name, email, phone number, and desired date and time. And few more things about instructions, like for booking appointment, we will use tool called book calendar tool. I'll talk about what tools are, why do we need it, just in a minute, right? So this tool will help to check the appointment availability and book the appointments. So the process would be, we are saying that it is going to be a 30-minute time slot available using a book calendar tool. Then if the slot is available, proceed to book. Otherwise, do not book. And for canceling appointment, we can use this tool, cancel appointment tool, right? And for modifying or changing appointments, we have modify calendar tool. a few more things like working hours, like just to keep it realistic, like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And this is important. Basically, a way of telling voice AI, right? The VAPI voice AI, the current date and time. So if you don't put this variable, so I have seen sometimes it starts hallucinating. It does not know what date and time is currently, and it sort of start considering the dates at which the LLM models were trained at that time. Okay, moving on, a few more things such as temperature. This is a default setting I have kept. So temperature is nothing but the LLM parameter which decides how creative responses should be. The lesser the value of temperature, that is close to zero, it gives almost kind of deterministic output. If you increase the temperature value, it is going to always come up with new responses. So I kept it as zero point 0.5, which is by default. Then another section is about voice configuration. So this is the voice which you would hear while having a discussion, right? So there are multiple providers for the voices, right? Such as 11 Labs, then you have DeepGram, OpenAI, so and so forth, right? So we are going to use 11 Labs, and I have this voice which I have shortlisted from 11 Labs website. So what you can do is here you can go to the 11 Labs and search multiple voices and pick the one which you feel is better for your use cases. Like couple of them are.
She tore her gaze away from her ruined footwear, still very much grieving the loss. And
Another could be
hey, are you looking for a fresh and engaging voice for your podcast or social media? Then I'm the voice for you.
cool. So this could be
Now, if you're ever down this way, don't be shy. We Southern folk
okay. So
love having folks over.
once you select the voice, simply what you need to do is copy this voice ID. This is the ID which you need, and go back to VAPI and click on add voice ID manually and paste it over here. Okay. All right. Let's move on. The model is going to be a Turbo 2.5, which is kind of latest. That is what VAPI supports, the latest one. In the market currently, there is a 3.0, I believe, from the 11 labs, but they do not have support yet. So this is what 2.5, which is latest. Let's keep that as it is. Couple of additional configurations such as background sound, right? So what does it do? So basically you want to make sure that the call feels as natural as possible. That's where this setting helps us to achieve that. Okay. So couple of options they have given, like office, then off, default, and custom. So when you click custom, you can provide your own sound URL somewhere you might be hosting it, right? So that is something they want you to provide there. Otherwise, there is a default which is office in case if you need it. Otherwise, keep it just off. Few more parameters such as clarity and similarity, speed. So basically, what does this speed parameter do? So the speed at which assistant speaks. Okay. I've been working on one of the project where I found the voice which I was using. It was naturally designed to talk slowly, but uh, the client did not like it. So they said, can you increase the speed? So I had to little bit change the settings from here. So what it does is basically it, it talks a little bit faster, and it matches the realistic scenario of how the user talks. Okay. And there are a couple of more which you really do not need to worry about if you are just trying to build a POC phase. Definitely these parameters are something you should play with to understand how do they work. Moving on, transcriber. So what it does is, okay, before you understand transcriber, so there are two things you should be knowing how this works. So there is a concept of text to speech and speech to text. Okay. So the job of transcriber is to convert speech to text. Okay. So these models are the responsible to convert a speech to text. Okay, so I'm going to keep the default setting like deepgram and language as English, and there are also multiple providers which do provide the service, and the model Nova, which is again the latest one, let it keep as it is. Then you have background denoising enabled. So what it does is it kind of removes the noise from the user background, okay, when the user is talking. So you can enable it just to keep things clear, so that transcriber can clearly understand what user is saying and it can convert to text. Then a couple of more things are here which you can leave by default for now. Here comes the section of tools, which is of very importance, and that's how we were able to integrate the Google Calendar with VAPI assistant. So what does tool term here is? So LLM in isolation do not have the capability to connect to the external applications. That's where tool helps them to achieve that objective. By using tool you can connect with external services, and LLM being a brain, it can decide when to invoke which tool and thereby achieve its objective, right? So these are the three tools which would help us to get our job done. All right, so in this use case we are going to use three tools. One is book calendar, modify calendar, and cancel appointment. So be these are going to be the basic functionalities of our AI agent which can achieve it, right? How do you create the tools? So there are two ways by which you can create the tool. One is click over here and click on create new tool, otherwise tools and create tool, right? So I have created these tools over here. Okay, so basically, what is the purpose of the tool, right? So let me quickly talk about it. What does a tool do? So basically, here is your VAPI. Okay, if VAPI needs to perform certain task, such as booking an event, so where do we do that? We do it on Google Calendar, correct? But VAPI do not have the access of Google Calendar yet. So we create a tool. So tool is nothing but just HTTP request in the backend. So you make a request to Google Calendar and you get a response. That is all. And this is nothing but called a tool. So these tools are helps LLM to achieve certain task. Okay. So let's look at the structure of the tool, right? Let me close this one. Go back and click on tools. We have a create tool button. So let's understand the existing tools first. What is happening here? For example, book calendar tool. What does tool do? Then you have parameters. So define the parameters your tool accepts. What does it mean? So basically what they are saying is, if you want to book the event on Google Calendar, so there will be APIs given by each applications by using which you can perform certain actions. So each API has some parameters that needs to be passed so that that action can be completed. Okay, and that is something we need to pass on. Okay, so that's where we are going to pass the name of the event, date and time when you want to book, phone number, email address. These are additional details. And if you edit this, and there is one more another field here, what you see is name. Then it also has a description what this name is about. It's a name of the person. What is the data type? String, number, boolean, object, or array. So we'll keep it as a string, and we'll mark this check box. It will say required. Yes, it's not optional. Okay. Similarly, other parameters such as date and time. So date and time of requested appointment needs to be in ISO 8601 format. For example, this. That is how generally the Google Calendar accepts the parameter in the API requests. Then you have phone number and email address. Again, if you see over here, I have added phone number of the person. So basically, you also need to provide the description of each parameter which you are basically passing to the API. So that helps LLM to understand what this each parameter is about, and so that it can send the right values to the API payload. And here is a server URL. Basically, it's a address to which it needs to feed these values. So I'll talk about what exactly this, where do you get it from, all sort of things. Okay, then you have secret tokens and HTTP headers and messages if you want to add. For now I have left it blank, not really needed. But if you want to kind of make it more secure, then maybe you can send some secret token. So basically this endpoint will be only accessible to the people who knows what secret token is. Nobody can use this endpoint and call it. Okay, now it's my endpoint is currently open to the public, and now I'm showing this address. Anyone can use this endpoint and send these parameters and try to book a event. Okay, but as I upload the video, I'm going to remove this endpoint, so there going to be no issues at my end. Okay, cool. That is about tool. Let me also go through other tools quickly. Then I have a cancel appointment tool. Then I have a description, parameters, then server URL again, then modify calendar, again few parameters. So in modify calendar, the extra thing is new date and time, right? So you do already have appointment scheduled on the calendar. Now you want to modify it. An agent needs to know the new date and time as well, right? That is about tools what our eco agent is using. Okay, moving on, let's go ahead. We have talked about tools, predefined functions. Yes, enable end call function. So it helps an agent to end the call from its side. So that's where we have kept it on. Then custom functions. So there is nothing for now because VAPI is migrating to tools. Previously, it used to be a functions. Then another section is summary. Basically, whatever discussion happens between a user and AI agent, that can be summarized by providing some sort of prompt. But if you see there is a default prompt, you are an expert note taker, you will be given a transcript of a call. Summary is called 2 3 sentences if applicable. Then there is success evaluation. So basically, the call which is happening between a user and AI agent can be evaluated. So how do you do that? So by using this success evaluation rubric, and it has multiple rubrics. One is numeric scale, a scale of 1 to 10. Then you have checklist, matrix, so and so forth. Also you can create your custom scale as well. Okay, then you have structured data section. Basically it helps you to extract the required information from the transcription. Okay, this would be very helpful, such as if you're calling a lead, asking them a couple of questions such as what is your monthly income, when you are going to retire, so and so forth, right? Or xyz other details. So all those can be extracted by add using this feature. So here it says add property. Then you need to give the name of the particular property, what kind of data type it has, is it a enum, and if it is required. In our case we don't need that, so I kind of skip that. And there are a few more sections such as privacy, which is HIPAA compliance, which is used for mostly in health niche. Then audio recording, it would be recorded, what is the format you can change. Then speaking plan, how long the assistant waits before speaking. Then smart endpointing, so this is basically more accurate speech endpoint detection. Then few more things are there, like call timeout setting, how long to wait before a call is automatically ended due to inactivity, right? it is by default 30 second, and how much the maximum duration of the call should last with user, that is 600 seconds. And finally you have the messaging, where you have a server setting. So what does this do? So here as well you can add one webhook. What happens is whatever discussion has happened across the journey of the call, that will be sent across to this webhook, right? That details will be sent across the webhook. So here are the things: server messages. Let's see what else it has, such as function call, end of call report. So this is what I was talking about. End of call report helps you to get the summary. A lot of metadata is passed when you use this functionality. Few more are there, such as tool calls, status update, then many more. Okay, we are not going to use that because we really don't need it. It's just more of like booking the event, canceling and rescheduling. Then you have few more things, such as voicemail. In case if AI agent is trying to call, that is applicable for outbound. When an AI agent trying to call a lead but they don't pick it up, agent will say please call back when you are available. Then end call message is goodbye. And that is mostly all about the VAPI. Now I'm going to explain the n8n side structure. Okay, so we are back in n8n now. So what you see is here are three workflows which we are going to use to achieve our task. First workflow is Google create event, then reschedule the event, and third is cancel the event. Let's go to each workflow and try to understand what we have done over here. So first, we have created a webhook. So what is webhook? So consider this as endpoint where a user can post the data, so that the rest of the workflow continues. Let me explain it like this. So say VAPI wants to book the event. So what VAPI will do is it will post the data to certain endpoint. Okay, so this endpoint is nothing but that webhook which I'm showing in n8n. Once this is done, our AI agent will do rest of the processing here, like booking the event using the Google Calendar. Once it is done, it will send the response, right? This is how the flow is going to be, and that is exactly what is happening here. We have a webhook, then here is a AI agent which is equipped with LLM model which we would be using from OpenAI. Then we have two things here attached to it as part of tool. One is a Google Calendar, which is what you see over here. Then you have a Google Calendar. So first is for creating an event and another is one for checking the availability. Okay, let's click on this and see what prompt it has. So prompt is going to be again the very minimalistic here. What we have said is the details of the requested appointment are one is name, phone number, date and time, and email address. Just pay attention to these parameters. So these are the exact parameters which we were sending from the VAPI, right? Here is book calendar tool and its name, date and time, phone number, and email address. So these are the things which are being passed to this agent. Okay, and we have another prompt which is a system message. If you see, is what we have done is I'm saying that you are a helpful assistant that can look up availability and book appointments. These are the tools it has, and few rules like you must check availability first before an appointment, which is how the human does, right? So whenever there is a request to a human agent, it will check the calendar first. If there is a slot available, they'll go on and booking that. So those are the rules which we have hard coded for the agent. There is a node which says respond to webhook. So the response body here, what you see is a tool call ID and the result. Okay, this is the structure in which the VAPI expects the response. Okay, make sure that this is structure you are going to follow whenever you respond to a webhook. So that is the first workflow. Similarly, we have a rescheduling workflow, like a model, then you have Google Calendar, get event, and update event. And it has its own prompt, such as current date and time of reservation is this, and a new date and time is this. Okay. Similarly, it has a system prompt which will help it to make a decision, like your job is to modify existing events. Here are the tool details, here are the rules, then current date time is this. So this is the variable that you need to give to the agent. So now we'll always return the current date and time, and that you can see over here. Okay. Then again, respond to webhook, cancel webhook, AI agent, LLM model, delete event tool, and get all event. Why do we have get all and delete? So first it will get the all events, figure out of those event which one to delete, and use a delete event tool. Similarly, we have seen like get all here. So basically it will fetch the existing event and figure out which one to update. That's where that is coming into the picture. One more thing quickly to talk about, this URL which I explained previously, right? So this is the URL which is from this webhook. Here are test URL and the production URL. So the difference is only about this test keyword. If you see here, it says webhook hyphen test, and it just there is no test, right? So let's cross check that quickly. So book calendar, here is a calendar. Go to production URL, it ends with 6023, and if you go here, you see it's a 6023. So basically you can also customize this, just change the name, and it would be appended right after this forward slash over here. Okay. Just one thing to keep in mind, if your workflow is active, please use the production URL. That's where you do not see the test keyword in my webbook over here. Okay. And I'm using all the production URLs. This AI agent is connected to these tools, and each tool has the credentials attached to. So I have created my credential over here, and the calendar which would be used is a mine personal calendar. So how do you create the credential? How do you set this client ID, then client secret? That is something which I have already covered in my previous video. Please check that out, otherwise this video is going to be very long. Okay. So that I have already done it. For create event, you have couple of things such as resources event, operation is create, from list, basically from which email, start date, end date, few more things here such as attendees, that is the email address which will be putting over here. Description is something, everything such as name, phone number, and email address. Call summary, I'm just adding the meeting demo and the name, right? That would be for the create event, and the visibility is public, that is for the create. Go to reschedule, you have rescheduling, like tool description, then event, operation is update, again from which list, event ID. So basically, since you are updating an event, whenever you create the event, there is always a event ID generated by Google. So that ID is a unique ID. Once you have it, you can perform the operations such as update or cancel. So that's where we need this additional parameter in update tool. Then rest of the fields are like description, end, start, summary, visibility are common. And in the cancel as well, you have the event ID. Okay. I'm going to provide the JSON of each workflow along with the video. Please import and play with it. Now, what we will do is we're going to see a quick demo. Okay, let's talk to Eco and see if it can book a appointment for us. Let's click on talk to assistant now.
Hello, this is Echo. How can I help you?
Hey, hi Eco. Can you help me book an appointment, please?
Of course, I'd be happy to help you book an appointment. Could you please provide me with your name, email address, phone number, and the desired date and time for the appointment?
All right. So, my name is Ajas, and email address is ajas@test.com. Phone number would be 123 456 789. Uh, and the date for appointment would be 25th June, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
One moment. Your appointment has been successfully booked for June 25th, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. If you need any further assistance, feel free to ask.
All right. Actually, I changed my mind. Can you please help me reschedule it from 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. same date?
I'll need to modify your existing appointment. Just to confirm, I'll be changing the appointment to June 25th, 2025, from 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Please hold on for a moment while I process this. This will just take a sec. Your appointment has been successfully rescheduled to June 25th, 2025, from 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. If there's anything else you need, just let me know.
Okay. I have one more request. Actually, I changed my mind. Can you please cancel that appointment, please?
I'll go ahead and just a sec. Your appointment has been successfully canceled. If you have any other requests or need further assistance, feel free to let me know.
Perfect. Thanks, Echo. I appreciate your help.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could assist you. If you need anything else in the future, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great day.
Bye.
Goodbye. Take care.
All right. That was all actually from today's video. So we saw a good number of things like understanding VAPI, then what is a webhook, having the prompts in place, then the workflows, and the live demo. That is all, everyone. I hope you liked it. In case if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comment section. I would be happy to address them. And yeah, I'm planning to be consistent. Let's see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching this video. And in case if you find a value, uh, please do share it. If not, I would appreciate if you could give me a feedback in the comments saying this is something we want different, or this is something can you help me with, all sort of things. Okay, I'll try to address those requests. Thank you so much.